I was growing up fast. The school, the streets, and the whole wide world awaited me beyond the gate of my parents' house.
All right, Chapter 2, Adolescence. You've lived in this world for 8 years now. As you grow older, life grows more complex. The world of your childhood was limited to your house and your family, but now that realm is expanding. It also includes your neighborhood, the nearby houses, the streets of the ancient city of Anazote. A question now looms over you, growing more pressing with each passing year. What will be your place in this vast outside world? Few people in the blessed Arcanian Empire trouble themselves with this question. It's not within a man or woman's power to choose. Their destiny is predetermined by their birth and those who bore them. And yet, your peculiar birth has granted you a choice. Your father is a man of nobility, a worthy example in matters of duty and honor. Your mother is a commoner of lowly estate. Humility and patience made flesh. And your sky is ablaze day and night with the light of the shining pillar, the beacon of the clergy. Your back bears the mark of the lash. Will you accept the drudgery and suffering that is the lot of the lowborn for your entire life? Or will you follow in the footsteps of your father and your father's father and fight for the right to serve the empire as a noble of the mantle? Perhaps you will follow the twin gods' word and offer spiritual guidance to others. The answer lies out there in that vast, terrifying world, what awaits you beyond the walls of your home. Alright, so, Gloria's secret. You discover the secret society your sister Gloria has joined. Conditions. I need to have ingenuity of 4 or greater. Stefan's disgrace. You find out your elder brother's forbidden love. I need to have nobility of 4 or greater. Blood tide. You join the blood tide of the Brante family. I need to participate in their ritual. And I need to either have nobleman sacrament or Gregor Brante's relationship with me has to be greater than 2. And then Nathan's admonition. Your younger brother Nathan Brante receives a spiritual admonition from you. I need to have spirituality of 4 or greater. Matters of the heart, you experience your first romantic feelings. I need to meet a girl. Revelations of the tree, you experience a revelation by the sacred silver tree. I cannot do it because I did not meet an epiphany conditions. And then I have Sophia save. You have to save the local girl named Sophia from lesser death. I need to have a willpower of 0 or more, and I need to have the event rescue Sophia. Right now, they add new things. So I have nobility, represents how noble your thoughts and deeds are in the pursuit of honorable ideals of the nobleman. It affects your chances of becoming a noble of the mantle and future skills that are crucial to the noble estate. I have unprincipled, honorable, noble, and dignified. I have ingenuity, represents how quick-witted you are and how skillfully you can manipulate a situation to your own end. It affects your ability to survive without the privileges of nobility and future skills that are crucial for a commoner. I have slow, bright, enterprising, and inventive. And spirituality. Your aspirations to unlock the mysteries of creation and explore the divine in the mortal world, the people around you, and yourself. It affects your ability to become a priest and future skills crucial for the clergy. I have mundane, searcher, soulful, and blessed by the gods. I have a willpower of 5. I'm ready for actions. I'm still untouched by death, which is a good thing in my opinion. Now relations screen is now available. Province screen is now available, and map of the empire screen is now available. Okay. Relations. You have no relations yet. Okay. Province. The overseer is the Archduke Melandius. The patriarch is Photis. Power is -4. Overseer is in power. Church is -4. We have the old faith. We have the wealth is at 6. We have good security. And we have peace for order since we're at 8. And then map of the empire. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, Eterna's right there. I'm not going through all these fucking cities. There's so many. Oh, here's Enizote. The city of your birth and the capital of the arid province of Magra. It is the largest and most ancient city in the south of the empire. Enizote is home to the Silver Tree, a sacred landmark grown by the twins when they descended to the mortal realm. The old prophecies say that Enizote is where the end of the world would begin. Okay, that's unfortunate to know and to be known for. Let's continue. Adolescence, 8 years. The family expects more and more of you as you grow up. The teachers and tutors hired by your father keep you on your toes all the time. Your life these days is dedicated to studying for your future, for the future of the Brante family. Your younger brother Nathan keeps growing up too. You can hold a conversation now. You never refuse him when he comes to play, provided you have a bit of free time between your demanding lessons. It's a rainy day today. Father and mother have gone to a ball, and they left Nathan in your care. You lose track of time over the books in the sitting room, and Nathan goes off alone to splash in the creek. Soon you hear his voice begging you to come outside. He's on the porch, sobbing, all covered in dirt. You walk up to him as he continues to bawl. It's all that kid. He pushed me into a ditch and called me names. He said I was a fancy pants fool. I said I'll call my brother. He's still there. You have to go punish him, Barnabas. Nathan points at a lopsided wooden house further down the street where the poorer artisans live. You see two boys lingering on the porch. They are clearly both commoners, but far from poor. One of them is almost as tall as Nathan, and he frowns in a funny way, just like him. The other looks older, almost your age, but he is more broad-shouldered and taller. His name is Tommas. You've heard it before. There, Barnabas. That's him. Nathan points at the younger boy and hides behind your back. Tommas grins and rolls up his sleeves to reveal strong forearms. He must have been helping his father with manual labor for quite some time. Listen up, rich boys. We don't give a damn about you or your friendship. We don't let nobody call our home a stinking rat hole. Your little brother earned his ditch dive. Maybe next time he'll dress normal and stop picking fights with people who can throw him in the mud. Your hands clench into fists before you react. Nathan called them names first. No wonder they did the same. That's how it goes, but pushing your brother into a ditch is too much. Tommas stands tall and confident. He sees no threat in you. You are about to get ready for a fight when you feel a tug on your shoulder. You turn your head to see Nathan, the one who started the whole mess. Alright, I can come at Tommas and give him a beating. You simply have to teach that jerk a lesson. My nobility goes up by 1, and oddly my relationship with Tommas goes up by 1 as well. I can choose say your brother is to blame. He did call them names first. My ingenuity goes up by 1, and my relationship with Tommas goes up by 1. I can also choose solve the matter peacefully. You do your best to reason with Tommas and avoid a fight. My spirituality goes up by 1, and my relationship with Tommas goes up by 1. I'm one of those people who loves the idea of knights and sword. Again, background. So I'm going to choose come at Tommas and give him a beating just to get the nobility. The bold-faced bully is taller and clearly stronger, but nobody talks to you like that. You leap at Tommas and start tearing into him. He jumps backwards, surprised by your assault. It takes him a moment to compose himself, but now he is ready. His fists cover the face, and he attacks. I think that's meant to say cover his face, and he attacks with a quick jab. It is now your turn to take a step backwards. You start trading blows, huffing and puffing with rage. The younger brothers gawk in awe at the sight. Tommas does not resort to fancy moves, dirty tricks, or stupid taunts. He displays nothing but skill earned in many a street fight, and his heavy fists aim for your head. That's not a smart idea, because if you know anything about fighting, like one of the first lessons that they teach you is hard on soft targets, soft on hard targets. Meaning you don't want to connect with a fist to somebody's jaw, because you'll end up breaking your fingers more than you will be hurting the person. you want to do something like a palm strike, because then you have the padding of your palm to prevent any bones from breaking. But if you're going to punch somebody in the stomach, that's when you use your fists. Don't ask me how I know this. Have I ever been into a fight? No, because I'm not that kind of person. You keep dodging him again and again, trying to reach him. He takes a couple of glancing blows, but easily shakes them off. What a bruiser. You start swinging your fists with greater and greater fury. Your heart is pounding like a hammer. You see nothing but the foe in front of you. How much longer will this take? You're worn out. Your breath grows ragged and your muscles grow heavy, but there's no way you can give up now. Nathan is watching you. Desperate and out of options, you swing and punch Tommas square in the nose, then immediately let his fist smack you in the temple. The blow rings through your head like a bell and blinds you for a moment. Ooh, a temple shot is never good. Like, that could easily kill somebody. The world swims before your eyes. You clutch at your head to get your bearings. Tommas is standing in front of you, blood dripping from his nose. You no longer want to fight it out, and it seems your opponent would rather end it too. But you keep standing there, eyeing each other angrily. Then, suddenly, you hear an angry shout right next to you. An enraged man in a craftsman's apron is shaking his fist. Tommas's face contorts in terror right away. "It's my father! Run!" The punishment for fighting is flogging, and the mere prospect of that makes you run like the wind. Tommas sprints in front of you. You dash across the rotten wooden planks of the back alley, up and over a lopsided fence, across a giant puddle in one leap, and then forward into the tall grass. You hide there and stay quiet. You hear no sounds of pursuit. You exchange glances with Tommas and start laughing. His laughter is loud and infectious, but soon he cuts it short and grows sadder. I'll get flogged anyways. My dad's always quick to give me a beating, and then he'll start nagging me about the lots and the prayers for days like he always does. Why do I always get myself mixed up in this stuff? But fighting's the only way to prove you're worth anything, right? The adults didn't see you fighting, you tell him, so all you have to do now is convince him that you weren't. Nosebleeds happen, right? Mother gets nosebleeds all the time. Well, we could try it. Let's hope our little brothers don't tell on us. I'll talk to mine. There's a scratch on your head. Don't let them see it. Good thing I didn't hit you in the face. There, good as new. You assure him that Nathan will never tell, and in return, you'll make sure he behaves himself so he won't get tossed into a ditch again. With that, you shake hands with Tommas. His handshake is as strong as you expect based on his fists. You make your way out of the tall grass. You need to leave before Tommas's father goes to your family and complains about you breaking your lot. You come to a realization on the way back. You had no idea the place where you were hiding even existed, and it wasn't too far from home. Tommas smiles in excitement when he hears this. Oh, I know lots of places like that. I'll tell you what, if we get out of this mess today, I'll show you the way to the old wall. It's the perfect place to build forts. I dragged a bunch of wood planks there. Too bad it's no fun to build all alone. My brother never helps. He just gets in the way. You emerge from the muddy back alleys united by a secret only the two of you know. It seems you made a friend today, and my relationship with Tommas has gone up by 1, and my nobility has gone up by 1. I'm still unprincipled though. Alright, met Tommas. You have made a friend, a boy named Tommas. "9 years old. Riders on the road. It is blistering hot today, even for the sun-parched land of Magra. As soon as you are done with your studies, you dash outdoors and out of this stuffy room. You and Tommas roll up your shirt sleeves, but it barely helps. You would gladly go shirtless had you only been in the company of other boys. But there are 3 girls in the yard today. They are doing the laundry in a big wash tub, whispering and giggling. If you could, you would gladly keep watching one of them at work. She has big eyes of deep blue, her dark hair is braided, and her plain gray dress is mended and patched all over. Her name is Sophia. She throws her head back a little when she laughs. The rays of the sun are reflected in her eyes. You, Tommas, and the other boys keep telling silly stories. Anything to make her laugh. You sure love telling tall tales, Barnabas. Oh, I remember this one time. But then Sophia hears a voice calling her home. She nods to you and runs across the street, smiling. Her light steps carry her forward, but her eyes are looking elsewhere. But then a stone on the road catches her foot. She stumbles and falls flat in the dust. The street starts shaking from the thundering of hooves. Riders appear on the road from around the corner. They bear a coat of arms you recognize right away, a sable serpent blade upon a field of vert. It symbolizes the Melanius dynasty, the family of your province's archduke. The horses dash forward. A lost wooden toy on the road cracks under their hooves. They will not slow down. They are nobles, and the rest must make way for them. Holy shit. They're like, little kid, we could stop or move around her. Nah, we'll fucking barrel through her. Who cares? She's poor. What the fuck is wrong with this country? Sophia is in their way. Just now starting to get back on her feet, her mother is crying for her desperately from behind the fence door. You freeze in terror. The riders surely see the girl. Are they going to stop, or are they going to trample her? In only a few moments, the beautiful girl will be toppled, trampled, and crushed. Wow, that's a way of describing that. So I can either shield Sophia from the horses. You rush into the road, blinded by hope, determined to stop the riders. I can do that because I have a willpower of 0 or greater. I get the destiny Sophia saved, my personality, I get +1 to nobility, +1 to ingenuity, +1 to spirituality, -5 to willpower, and I gain 1 death, and my relationship goes up with Sophia. Or I can stay where I am. You stay where you are, at least you get trampled too. And Sophia died her first death. I gotta do it. It just increases my stats so much. I do get a death, but like everything goes up by 1. You throw yourself blindly into the road, swinging your arms wildly. Dazed by the sound of the thundering hooves, you can see nothing in the dust. For a brief moment, the horses slow down, just long enough for Sophia to get back on her feet and flee to the roadside. But then the riders dig their spurs in. What? Do they not see me? They slowed down because I ran to the road, but then they fucking sped up? What? Dozens of hooves knock you off your feet and roll across your body. Your bones crack, break, and crumble. Your ears are ripped apart by the thundering rhythm of the rider. Your innards are pulverized. The last thing you remember is the sound of your own skull caving in. Holy shit, that is such a visceral description. What the fuck? Good artwork though. That's some good fucking artwork right there. First death. You fall into a pain that embraces you like a soft feather bed. You feel light, free. There are no restraints, just a warm glow that envelops you in its secure embrace. The waves carry you. Their touch is soft. They delicately enshroud what was once your body. It is a feeling unlike anything you have ever experienced before, something absolute and complete. You touch something greater, the reason behind everything, the reason for your very existence. You were sculpted from this light. It was the first thing you ever felt, a boundless and sincere unity of the diverse. Your beginning was a spark that cast this light in all directions, and now you are here again, one with the beginning of everything. The light gleaming from you resembles the light of the shining pillar. You still see it, in the north, as always. The waves of light carry you to 2 figures. The elder is nearest. He is ready to accept you. He is quiet, wise, kind, and pure. The younger waits further back. You do not know what he is yet. The waves pause at the elder's feet. He leans over you and plants a feather-like kiss on your forehead. The kiss spreads all over you. You are filled with unparalleled delight and bliss. You exist. You are unique. There is no one else like you. They know this, and they love you. You will never be alone. You are part of them, a part of your family, a part of this universe. The twin gods will never leave you. They watch over you constantly. The elder softly touches you as you lie spread out amongst the waves, sending you further down the torrent of light. You float on to the top of the silver tree's spreading crown. The closer you get to the silver tree, the heavier you become. The waves draw you down along its trunk, but you do not wish to part with the warmth and the softness, with the love. You turn around. The elder is watching you. He nods. All is as it should be. Go. Your time has not yet come. You must return to the world now. As you tumble down toward your body, you comprehend the true meaning of your lesser death and the divine love that has been revealed to you. Love exists not only in the hereafter, it is present in the entire design of the twins. That is the origin of all life in this world. What is the manifestation of this love in your mortal life? Alright, I can do Empire. By creating the Empire, the twin gods cared for all living things. The Empire is the only thing that gives you a place in the world and a connection to others. It is an enormous family made for the people by the gods. I can do Cause. The love the gods have for you is so great that they allow you to change the world they have created, to influence it with your deeds. Whatever your mission is, it is proof of the twin gods' love for you. Lot. The gods give you a clear mission in this world, thus gifting you your very being. This is the manifestation of their love for you and for all things. Yourself. What could be a stronger manifestation of love than your very existence? Your every emotion, every thought, every action exists by virtue of the love from which the twin gods created you. Family. Love always lives in kindred blood. You share the miracle of life and the universe with your kin. Your family is what you are given upon being born and what you will leave behind when you depart. Then I can remain silent. You do not find the answer you seek. Between everything, what I would personally go for would be family. That, for me, is the answer to this question. For everybody else, it could be different. But, like, for me, family is important to me. I think I stated in the first episode, I have a ton of siblings, and I love all of them. And so I'm going to choose family. A sudden comprehension of the love with which the entire world is imbued illuminates your mind, but then it fades away and vanishes. You regain the sensation of your flesh. It is heavy and unwieldy. It lacks that lightness, that light. It is a burden. It is smothering you. You gasp for air. Your chest expands painfully. You feel as though your lungs are about to burst. The stagnant odor of the crypt fills them, revolting, but so real. You are back. Then you can feel again. You sense your body, head, arms, and legs. The light fades around you, obedient before a will that is stronger than you. You return to the world. Such is the law of the twins. You will return to the world until the time of your true death, and in this world you will have a body with which to feel pain and suffering and pleasure. You smell a sickly moist odor. You open your eyes and see the figures of mother and father in the gloom of the family crypt, speaking to each other quietly. They stop as soon as they hear you gasp. Mother runs to you and locks you in an embrace as father wraps you in his cloak. Neither of them says a word as they lead you out to the surface and back home. You met a terrible end, my son. You were trampled by those horses. Don't be so careless ever again. The lives you were granted by the twins are not to be wasted so recklessly. You would be punished for this, but the twins have already meted out their punishment. You tremble, your steps unsteady as you learn how to move again. Your body is eerily smooth, fresh, and renewed. Even the recent scars and scratches are all gone, but there is something new on it. A fresh black mark, a reminder of your lesser death beneath those hooves. Where's the black mark? And what does it look like? It's just a fresh black mark. Maybe we'll figure it out. Remember that. By the twins' mercy, we are all given enough time in this world. Should you die before your time, you will be brought back by their grace. For 3 times they will rescue you from a terrible fate, but the 4th death is the true and final for all. Every loss of a life we were granted at our birth is a heavy blow to us, but the gods tell us not to mourn a lesser death, and so we will humbly accept this and move on. See, your body has been reborn anew, with all your wounds healed. Do not mourn your loss of life, my son, but thank the twin gods for their justice. Do not speak of this, and do not ever play by the road again if you wish to keep on living. Wow, I don't even get to explain why I was by the road and why I got trampled by horses. I just fucking get talked down to because I died. I feel like my parents are taking this too lightly. You cautiously go back outside the next day. Children from the neighborhood surround you. They all saw you get trampled, and now they all ask you the same question. What was it like to die? Tommas rescues you from their pestering. He pushes the motley crew aside, hugs you, and pats you on the back. Look at you, buddy. You gave an entire life to keep a girl safe. Then you see Sophia. She is standing nearby, shyly working up the courage to walk over to you. Soon, she finally approaches you and begins speaking rapidly. Barnabas, why did you throw yourself in front of those horses? My life isn't worth any more than yours, so why did you think that? You weren't supposed to die there. It was all those riders' fault. They deserve to die, not you. Her voice rises to a shriek. She suddenly stops and runs back home. You stay where you are, watching her run, the golden rays of the sun dancing in her braided hair. My relationship with Sophia has gone up by 1. She is indifferent with me. My nobility goes up by 1. It's now at 2. I am honorable. Fuck yeah. Ingenuity goes up by 1. I'm still slow. It's hurtful. Spirituality goes up by 1. I'm mundane. My willpower goes down by 5, so I'm ready for action, and I died once. And I met the event Sophia saved. Alright, year 10. Sophia disappeared after the terrible incident with the horses. Her friends gossip that her parents sent her off to serve a rich noble dynasty. You haven't seen each other since that day, but you still remember Sophia's eyes, the sunlight shining in them. But no matter what, life goes on. You are 10 years old now. Your studies continue, and you are learning more about the land you live in. Inazote is an ancient city in an imperial province by the name of Magra. All soil in Magra was turned to ash eons ago, scorched by magic during the rebellion of Duke Charmelandius. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think I pronounced it like 3 different ways so far. The magical arts are all but gone now, but the scorched earth has remained barren and infertile ever since. That's why we're a mining town. We have to import food. Wow. That sucks. Since then, the entire province has lain barren, tormented by cold and scorching winds in equal measure, with few precious plants taking root on their own. All fertile land in Magra is bought elsewhere and brought here by an endless caravan of carts and carriages. To pay for food and soil, the cities of Magra became skilled in many trades, primarily mining, digging for metals and stones. So they legitimately bring good dirt from one area and bring it over to this area? That is wild. Last fall, there was an explosion just outside the city, followed by clouds of thick smoke. The first such incident frightened the citizens, but then explosions and smoke became an everyday occurrence. Soon, everyone grew used to it. Father explains that the miners are using a new invention called gunpowder. It makes it easier for them to reach the precious stones and metals buried deep within the earth. Alright, so they didn't have gunpowder before, but now they do have gunpowder, which is terrifying, because anybody with a gunpowder is wild. Like, I'm hoping some of the people watching realize that I am a huge Wheel of Time fan. I think I have hinted that in many of my titles. But there is a moment in the books where one of the main characters, Matt, finally gets to exhibit a cannon, and another character named Brigida is like, oh, this changes everything. Like, the power used to be, the power's the magic of the world. The power is now, like, lower because gunpowder has kind of taken the sort of danger in the world and brought it up. And now the power isn't as terrifying in combat. Like, if you're fighting with somebody with power, yes, they can do things to you, but then there's somebody who's just sitting on a castle wall and she goes, and go. Anybody can use a cannon. Few people can use the power. Then one day, a thunderous explosion rocks the city and black, billowing smoke covers the houses. People are stuck in their homes, all windows tightly shut. The air is impossible to breathe. Nathan coughs all the time. Gloria and you cough only when nobody is watching. If Mother hears it, she'll make you inhale those hot herbal vapors just like Nathan. It takes 2 days for the black smoke to disperse. People pour onto the streets to meet their friends. Tommas is eager to share everything he knows about this incident with you. They took lots of burnt up people to the city temple. Mom told me she was helping the healers. There are many rumors. Some claim it was the work of a beast stirred from its slumber, while others say it's the surviving witches that continue to threaten the order in the Empire with their accursed powers. But as for you, you patiently wait for Father to come back home, and then you'll ask him about it. Father spends day and night working in the Prefecture, while Mother spends all her time in prayer. It takes a full week for Father to finally come home, and he's almost completely spent. You muster enough courage during dinner to ask him what happened outside the city. Father raises his head, his face a bleak, weary mask, and starts muttering his proclamation. It's almost as if he doesn't see you. It's the mine outside the city. They were trying to get to a vein of ore. There was an explosion. The mine caved in and the black smoke started flowing. Many workers died there. It was all because Count L. Velasco. Alright. It was all because Count L. Velasco, who owns the mines, wanted them to start mining that vein before they were ready. Some of the workers weren't even reborn. Perhaps the twins thought their final time had come. The Prefecture has been inundated with complaints from families that have lost their breadwinners, asking the judges for help. Many people also lost their cattle to the black smoke. Count El Vasco blames gunpowder for the disaster. The Prefecture and the newspapers just repeat whatever he says, but it's plain old greed and tyranny of noblemen that are to blame. Why is the welfare of our province always paid for with commoner lives? Holy shit. That got oddly political for a second. Just like, it's just greed. The rich people want to get richer, and they're making everybody below them suffer. They're given to the rich and taken from the poor. Then, without warning, he grows silent again. You keep thinking about it for days. Can a human life really end so easily? A single moment of bad luck and you die, only to re-emerge from the temple or the family crypt with a new black mark on your arm. Or worse, you remain where you fell, dead, never to be reborn again. Ever. Okay, order's gone down by 1. We're still at peace though, and the wealth of Magra has gone up by 1. We're affluent. Stefan's arrival. During lunch, Father tells you to stay home in the evening and prepare to meet some important guests. Your elder brother, Stefan, will return home by dinner tonight. Joining him will be your grandfather, Gregor Brandt, as well as a noble friend of the family. You are excited about your brother's return. It has been years since you last saw him. How has he changed during his years away from home? You and Father await the guests anxiously. The doorbell rings. 3 people are standing outside. Grandfather is the first to come in, naturally. He has not changed a bit since his last visit, still eyeing the house with contempt, looking for any reason to demean it. Grandfather is followed by a stately young man dressed in a jacket embroidered in silver, whom you barely recognize as your brother. Stefan casts a glance at your threadbare clothes, your dirty fingernails, and smirks. The last to enter the house is a personable gentleman with a worn-out, wrinkled face. You have heard a lot about this man from father and grandfather. He is Baron Augustin L. Born, Stefan's uncle and family friend, and in the province's prefect, which means that he is the head judge and thus father's superior. Sir L. Born smiles lightly and offers you his hand. Ah, this must be your younger son, Barnabas. Yes, you have your father's eyes, young man. Father bows slightly to grandfather and Sir L. Born, but there is a moment of quiet when Stefan's turn comes. Father reaches out to him awkwardly, expecting an embrace. There's a question in Stefan's eyes as he looks at grandfather. The old man shakes his head almost imperceptibly. We noblemen oughtn't put our own emotions on public display, father, even after a lengthy separation. There is no embrace. Instead, Stefan nods to father curtly. He responds in kind, his face devoid of emotion. After the greeting, you proceed to the sitting room. L. Born is the first to enter. He kisses mother's hand and Gloria's too, and tussles Nathan's hair after he sees him hiding by the table. Grandfather acknowledges them with a glum nod. Okay, at least L. Born is slightly better than grandfather. We don't really know his personality, but at least he's willing to acknowledge that my mother and Gloria and Nathan exist, unlike my grandfather, who's a dick. Greetings, Lydia Brante. I remember you were kind to me when I was but a child. And you must be Nathan. You could barely walk when I last saw you. Your elder brother ignores Gloria completely, not even a greeting. And they were somewhat close as kids. What the fuck did my grandfather do to this guy? I think the better question to ask would, what did society do to this guy? Because he went to school and came back like this. I don't think he was around my grandfather all that much. You proceed to the dining room in a dignified manner and take your seats. The dishes smell delicious, but they merely punctuate the overwhelming tension of the table. L. Born is the only one with a friendly smile on his face. The dinner is splendid, Lydia. Did you choose the dishes yourself? You have a truly refined palate. It warms my heart to know Stefan spent his early years with you. Womanly care always does a child good, no matter the estate. Augustin is so nice for a nobleman that we've met so far. He's not a dick to Lydia, even though she replaced his sister. Like, he acknowledges that, like, yes, his sister died. Why would I be a dick to my brother-in-law's ex-brother-in-law? Are they still brother-in-laws if his sister died? And, like, I guess they would be ex-brother-in-laws in this case. But why would I be a dick to my ex-brother-in-law's wife, who is helping to raise my nephew? He is a good dude from what little we're getting of him. He may be a complete asshole to everybody else, but from what we're getting from him, he is a nice guy. Your fork freezes in the air halfway to your mouth. You expect many things from a noble of the sword, but words of praise for a low-born woman are not one of them. You cast a glance at grandfather. He looks like he is about to choke on those words. Yep, grandfather still being the same old dick he is. It would do my grandson more good to stay at boarding school among his equals. Please, Gregor, parenting is no less important. Nothing can replace a mother's love. I cannot deny it. It saddens me greatly that my late sister could not be there to raise Stefan, but there was still a family for him, and he was surrounded by love. How could that be bad? Again, Augustin is so good of a noble. Like, and he's a higher noble than my grandfather, so why is my grandfather talking shit to Augustin? And Augustin's being like, hey dude, I'm higher than you. Shut the fuck up. What I say is more important. He's using the lots in a good way. And besides, his father was by his side all the while. A father's example is always the best. After all, Robert earned the judge's rank the same way you did. Your grandson will surely follow in your footsteps. And who knows, perhaps even the younger men of the Brante family will contribute to the... You clumsy, low-born cretin! Everybody is startled by this sudden outburst. Grandfather's face turns red. He's glaring at a young lady servant holding a pitcher over a glass. Stefan is sitting right next to her, dabbing a napkin on a fresh stain on his jacket. "Be gone this instant." The lady servant runs away, leaving the pitcher on a small table by the door. After a quiet moment, Elborn smiles again. "It appears the servants have left us. Yet dinner is far from over." Again, he's like trying to smooth over the situation. This is where, like, yes, we are getting like the better side of Augustin, but does he act the same way to people lower than us? And I think this is giving like a hint to his personality, where he's not so much like primarily focused on appearance, but when it comes to defending people much lower than him, like who will never be able to touch nobility, he's willing to ignore it to keep appearances up. "Worry not, uncle. There are enough commoners at this table to keep us served with food and drink." Stefan glances at Gloria across the table. She is sitting right next to you. She shrinks down and hunches over under his gaze. Father furrows his brows. Mother covers her mouth with trembling hands. Grandfather sneers. Stefan's gaze does not move. The silence lasts far too long. Then she starts to rise from her chair. "If the Brante gentleman so wish it." Your hands clench into fists under the table. How could he bring himself to humiliate his own family, his own mother and sister like this? It is all Grandfather's doing. Stefan could not even bring himself to embrace Father without his permission, and yet they are noblemen and they have the right to act this way. If there is any way this dinner can become even more unbearable, you do not want to see it. I can either insult your brother, you step out of line and insult Stefan for what he has done. My ingenuity goes up by 1. I have bad blood with Stefan, and my relationship goes down 1 with Stefan, but my relation goes 1 up with Gloria. I'm going to be making the decisions as I would actually make them in real life. I'm not role-playing a character. I'm not trying to get like a specific outcome. This is just me playing it how I would do it. I would not insult my brother. Because, like, again, I want to have a good relationship with everybody in my family. I'm the kind of person who I love my siblings. I want to have good relationships with all of my siblings. I'm not going to be a dick to one person. I can make small talk over dinner. You try to act like nothing happened and make small talk with the guests. My nobility goes up by 1, and my relationship with Gregor Brandt goes up by 1. And I can also join Gloria in her plight. You rise from the table and help your sister wait on your family. My willpower goes up by 10, and my relationship with Gloria goes up by 1. I'm going to join Gloria in her plight. I know this doesn't get me the nobility just yet. This is the situation that I see the most out of. You deliberate for a moment, then take the napkin off your lap and rise to join Gloria. For a moment, you hear the sound of another chair moving. Your mother joins you. The 3 of you now refill glasses, serve food, and clear away dirty dishes. Sir Elborn tries to make small talk with Father, but in vain, so he focuses his attention on Grandfather and Stefan. Grandfather is pleased to inform him of Stefan's achievements at the boarding school, especially his exemplary sword-fighting skills. He constantly stresses the importance of your elder brother for the future of the family. You listen to him dispassionately as you continue serving new dishes to the table. As you wait at the nobleman's table, you, your sister, and your mother never bump into each other. Your labor is impeccable. Grandfather could not have found fault with it even if he tried. Your shoulders and back are aching, but being a manservant inside your own house hurts even more. When the guests finally leave, Mother and Gloria embrace you with relief. You did not neglect your relatives and shared their humiliation, and the composure that you have shown gave you new strength. My affection goes up 1 for Gloria. We are affectionate with each other. Awesome. Love my sister. My willpower goes up by 10. I'm full of power. Alright. 11 years old. Hot, dry winds sweep through the city from the barren lands around it. The noble residents of Anazote prefer to remain in their chambers, while the commoners huddle in tents or in the shade of the silver. I almost said Erd tree. Wow. The silver tree thing has been causing my brain to think about Elden Ring, and I'm just thinking Erd-tree, Erd-tree, Erd-tree. While the commoners huddle in tents or in the shade of the silver tree, you are on an errand right now. Your father wrote a letter to a noble acquaintance, and you are to deliver it. Tommas, the boy down the street, is tagging along. The two of you are inseparable. The errand is an easy one, so you decide to take your opportunity to loiter around the part of Anazote where their nobles live. So here you are, in the middle of the city square, resting on the ancient brickwork by the old fountain in the merciful shade of the gargantuan silver tree. Tommas is by your side, lazily slouching on the edge of the fountain's basin. It's a hard life for commoners like you and me. Either you break your back in a workshop day and night, hoping someone will buy your goods someday, or you become a manservant to some noble. You never get a chance to enjoy life. This is our lot, you remind him. We work and endure and suffer. But Tommas waves your words away. Yeah, I know all that already. Mother keeps drilling that stuff into me. We must be humble. Our strength is patience and persistence. So yeah, I say, but I want to make my fortune no matter what. So how ain't that living by my lot, I ask you? But the lots, they ain't easy. Let's take you, for example. Brante, your father's a nobleman, but even if that didn't make you one, just look at your hands. You never had to work as hard as me, but we have the same lot. So we're supposed to suffer the same? Or look at your father. He's a judge. He toils at the Prefecture day and night doing his judging, and he's a noble. I've never seen an Arcanian work as hard as he does. You shrug. The Arcanians are a different race. The books say they were born to rule over humans. They are never commoners, always nobles of the sword by birth. They founded the empire after subduing all the human kingdoms on the continent. Humans will never be their equals. Arcanians are always better, smarter, stronger, and their skin is a noble shade of blue. If the books are to be believed, of course. You have never seen one yourself. Okay, this is more getting into the lots are created by the Arcanians to suppress and basically create a class war between people so that the humans don't rise up and fight the Arcanians. Your idle chatter is suddenly interrupted by a rugged-looking guardsman dressed in black and green. He chases you away from the fountain. Common rabble like you have no place here. You hear the clattering of hooves and wheels against the cobblestones and see flags bearing a coat of arms, a sable serpent on a field of vert. It makes you squirm. It is the Archduke's coat of arms, the Melanidas dynasty. The carriage doors opens, revealing a young lady in a luxurious dress. You cannot look away from her, those dainty shoulders suggested but not revealed by the cut of her dress, her black hair cascading over them, her stately slim silhouette, her pouty lips and prim nose, and those eyes, dark like the night, the way she moves, fluidly, gracefully, and more incredible of all, her skin glows an azure blue. She is a masterpiece given life. She is an Arcanian. Clear the way for me. The Melanida's guardsmen work quickly to clear the way of the fountain for the Arcanian lady. The searing sun dances on her skin in bizarre patterns. With one elegant motion, she reveals a handkerchief, then leans over the basin and wipes her head and neck with its cool water. Well, I'll be. That's Octavia Melanidas, our Archduke's own daughter. I don't know why I'm giving him like somewhat of like a Jersey accent. I don't know why, but I am. The Arcanian turns away and proceeds gracefully back to her carriage. You see something slip out of her hand and fall onto the cobblestones right next to you. Her handkerchief. It is right there by your feet. Intricate craftsmanship, expensive woven fabric delicately decorated with emerald filigree. Your heart skips a beat. Will you dare draw the beautiful Arcanian's attention in order to return her lost possession? Or would you rather not attempt to cross the chasm between you and her? Alright, I can give the handkerchief back to Octavia. You walk up to the Arcanian lady to give her back the handkerchief she had dropped. I get the dynasty matters at the heart. My willpower goes down by 5. And Octavia remembers me. I can stash the trophy. You quickly hide the trophy, planning to sell it later. My willpower goes up by 5, and my relationship with Tommas goes up by 1. Or I can keep the handkerchief as a memento. You watch the Arcanian lady depart, trying to burn every movement into your memory, and my willpower goes up by 10. I'm going to stash the trophy, so I can at least get 5 and have my relationship increase with Tommas. Octavia finishes her graceful return to the carriage. It takes off and the carriage disappears from the square. Then you look at Tommas and show him the handkerchief you are holding. It's time to show him how to start earning that fortune. Your eyes single out a traveling peddler in the crowd. When you finally get his attention, you pull the splendid handkerchief from your pocket. The peddler smirks knowingly. Finders keepers, and the noble who lost it certainly won't be weeping over it. Truth be told, it is a truly exquisite handkerchief. It still looks quite presentable and will fetch a fair price. After some haggling with the stingy peddler, you trade it for a small fortune, 4 coins. Half of this sum you give to Tommas. But this was all your handiwork, Barnabas. You just grin at him. He can find the next handkerchief. Tommas laughs, and you head off to the fruit stalls together. My relationship went up by 1 with Tommas. We have sympathy together. And my willpower is now at 15. I'm still full power. Year 12. "12 years old now, you overhear an important conversation. It is a spring night and Mother has just sent everyone to bed. You walk past Father's study and hear voices coming from beyond the door. Grandfather is yelling and Father is replying quietly. The elder Brante men are fighting, arguing about the place of the commoners in the city. You sneak outside to avoid Mother's attention and hide next to the open window of the study. Perhaps they'll mention you too. That low-life idiot had the gall to pay me a visit and beg for some service. He had the insolence to ask me outright. He thought I was going to support his claim to the chairman's seat to the lesser quorum. How dare he? Father, please listen. Mayor Egmont may be low-born, but he carries a lot of clout in Magra. He owns 5 iron mines. A friend like him could be quite useful, should he become the chairman of the lesser quorum. I don't give a damn who this Egmont is, Robert. What he is, however, is low-born. His lot is humility and obedience. The likes of him can never rule anything. They're nothing but a flock of sheep that need a firm, noble hand to guide them. I wasted so many years trying to quash that quorum decree, but that accursed Cornelius Tempest did everything in his power to make the Emperor sign that pathetic screed, and now even lowlives can wield power. True power, Robert. Just the right to discuss the size of the Archduke's tax, nothing more. That is only the beginning. What's next? Are they going to arm the lowlives now, make them into judges? If the Empire rejects the foundations and the lots, the entire edifice will crumble. Bah! Who am I telling this to? It is already crumbling, and you, my son and heir, are a harbinger of its destruction. Father, I'm begging you, I do not wish to marry a 3rd time. Lydia is a good wife and a dutiful mother to my children, if you would only allow her to. I will allow them nothing. Neither Egmont, nor the freeloading wench of yours. What will you want me to do next? Live by the laws of the lowborn? I can already see where this is going, and I'd rather run my own sword through my gut than live in a country where nobles and lowlives share the same rights. My only dream is to see the name of the Brante name in the Blue Book, but that dream will never come true. They will never call me Venerable El Brante, and it's all because this marriage of yours. My only hope is to hear Stefan addressed in such a manner one day. Thank the twins I didn't let you ruin the boy. He's about to grow up a true nobleman. His children will bear the name of El Brante. You have 2 more grandsons. Those spineless milksops from the common lot, they're incapable of anything. The best your middle son could do is sneak into the Imperial College and get ennobled by the mantle, although I have grave doubts about even that. As for the downtrodden Nathan, I hold out no hope for him whatsoever. You hear grandfather's heavy footsteps, the thudding of his cane and the slamming of the door. It's time to sneak back home before you're discovered. Power goes up by 1. The overseer is still in power, though. He started studying at the school of Sir Tirbor and began to master the sciences. A storm of expectations. Finally, the day comes when the teacher stops coming to the house. But before you can breathe a sigh of relief and put away the books, Father asks you to come to his study. You've grown, my son. It is time for you to continue your education away from home. I've chosen a deserving school for you, Sir Tyrbor's school for the children of noblemen and well-off commoners. Naturally, it is not a boarding school for nobles, so you will study there during the day and come home in the evening. You share the news with your best friend, Tommas. I love that the relationship with Tommas and my character is like continuing on throughout his adolescence. I love that. Like, there have been like a lot of characters that like just pop up for a second. Like Sophia, she pops up like once and then fucks off. But with Tommas, like, it's a through line. It's one of those things where it is Tommas is acting kind of as a foil to Stefan, in a way. Stefan is a noble who looks down on all commoners and believes that only noblemen should have power. Tommas is a lowborn who looks down on noblemen and tries to find ways to gain power, and believes that noblemen aren't the only ones to have power. Sir Tyrbor's school, eh? Yeah, I gotta ask my parents to send me there too as soon as they get the coin together. Father says his workshop has toiled day and night for years to save up for my education. The school is based in an ancient estate of Arcanian design. The classrooms are tall and spacious with massive benches. The sounds of scraping quills and lectures on history and imperial law and theology echo under the vaulted ceilings. The rules are strict, the lessons tiring. Restless, Tommas keeps getting distracted, and several times he gets his hand smacked with a stick for it. Every teacher demands flawless mastery of their subject. Every day, Father asks you about your studies. You've already told him twice how Magra joined the Empire and how the noble's court of honor is different from the commoner's civil court in the city prefecture. But Father keeps pressuring you to work even harder. When it is time to go to bed, Mother will not let you go to sleep until you recite a newly learned prayer for her. And when it is time to go to school, you promise every day that you will behave with great humility and steer clear of insolent behavior of any kind, for you will still live by the commoner's lot, and that lot is hard work and suffering. Your first month in school draws to a close, and the teachers announce that there will be exams at the end of the month to determine the best and the worst students in each subject. Father insists that you devote all your spare time to studying law and history if you wish to follow in his footsteps. But when you speak to Mother every day, you start considering theology. You still remember the revelations and divine visions that came to you in your earliest years. You have only one more day until the exam. You've locked yourself away in your room. It is already getting late. Your desk is covered with handwritten notes, surrounded by leather-bound books. Just looking at them makes you queasy, but you have to read through all of them again, at least for one of your subjects. There's a nagging thought on your mind. Tommas ended up in big trouble the other day. He got in a fight with several boys who live on the next street. They heard about your wooden fortress and got in an outrage by the fortification built by commoners. They swore to dismantle it tonight. Tommas swore he would defend the fortress until the end. Perhaps you should abandon the books to rescue the friend in need. But then you hear your little brother Nathan knocking at the door. He stands there shyly, not saying a word. He often does that, standing still and staying speechless until either you speak first or he runs away. But this time, he actually says something. The door is locked. Are you okay, Barnabas? Is there anything I can do to help? Your head is spinning. This is the last evening before the school exam. If you fail, your family will be very disappointed. You have to refresh your memory on law or theology, either one or the other. But Tommas and your fort are about to be stormed. Why today of all days? You grind your teeth in rage at the thought. Nathan is by the door, trying not to bother you. He wants to help you the only way he can, for reasons known only to him. Will you accept this help? Alright, I can focus on law and history. You intently study the books on the secular sciences. My nobility goes up by 1, and my relationship with Robert Brante goes up by 1. I can go help Tommas. You sneak out of the house and run to the wooden fort. My ingenuity goes up by 1, and my relationship with Tommas goes up by 1. I can study theology. You devote what little time you have left before the exam to studying theological texts. My spirituality goes up by 1, and my relationship with Lydia Brante goes up by 1. And I can also spend a moment with Nathan. You put everything away and accept your brother's offer to help. My willpower goes up by 10, and my relationship with Nathan goes up by 1. I'm going to focus on law and history. I want to get that secret, the thing with Stefan, the destiny with Stefan, like this Stefan's disgrace, I think it was called. You push Nathan out of the room. He cannot possibly help you prepare for the exam. Soon your eyes start to hurt from all the legal terms and chronologies and titles of imperial edicts. You repeat everything, every single line of it, until your head hurts and your vision begins to blur. Your father walks in. He chuckles in approval. You fall asleep right there amidst the books. The morning comes. You barely have the time to wake up before you are walking to the menacing edifice of the school. Time for law. All the students sit still, glued to their benches in terror. The teacher's voice singles you out. If a commoner insults a nobleman's honor, how ought he be dealt with, according to imperial law? Bring the commoner to the prefecture, where the judge will sentence him to corporal punishment. And what if a noble takes a commoner's life by negligence or whim? The noble is fined by the provisional authorities. Surprising even yourself, you give the correct answers to these questions and the many more that follow. Wait, what the fuck am I reading? Okay, so if a commoner insults a nobleman, it's corporal punishment. If a nobleman murders a dude, it's a fine. I feel like this is like very much kind of pointing to our current political system. I'm just saying. Just looking at the news and saying it's like, oh yeah, we can poison a bunch of people with microplastics and we just pay a fine for it. But like, if they do anything to resist, fucking Pinkertons. Wild that they still exist. The next subject is the history of the Blessed Arcanian Empire. You masterfully recount the history of every province as they merged with the Empire, from Monia to Magra. Then you recite the names of every tempest who has ruled the Empire. You conquer every question the teacher asks you without confusing a single date. You get the highest grade in law and history and an average grade in theology. You relay the teacher's praise to Father over dinner. He smiles, pleased with you. Well done, my son. I can see how hard you have been working. Keep at it, and you will be among the Empire's greatest servants. I am proud of you. My relationship goes up with Robert Brante. We are now affectionate with each other. And I am still honorable with a 3 to nobility. Your education continues. As you study imperial law, you come to realize that there is a certain hierarchy even within the noble estate. It seems your father's status is not quite equal to that of the more eminent human and Arcanian gentry. You return home with this new information at your disposal. Father asks you about school after dinner, as he always does. And what is the difference between nobles of the mantle and those of the sword, Barnabas? You already have an answer ready. The latter status is hereditary, meaning that it is passed down from father to son. After the Arcanians, nobles of the swords are the most eminent humans in the Empire. They own the land and estates. They fill offices of the highest ranks, and the names of their bloodlines are preserved within the Great Blue Book. Nobility of the sword can only be granted by the overseer of the province or the emperor himself. And how are such eminent people addressed? With the honorific L before the last name, you respond. Sir Augustine L. Bourne, for example. Father pats you on the shoulder, clearly pleased. And what are the Arcanians and their status? What have you learned about them? The Arcanians stand above all human gentry. They are born to rule over the humans regardless of their titles. No L is required when addressing them. They need no honorifics, for the names of their ancient dynasties are known to all. This is getting to the idea that the Arcanians are basically using the religion to suppress the humans. They don't need an honorific. Everybody knows an Arcanian's name. They aren't even the major populace. They are the minority of this world, but they still hold all the power. They are the only people that can be overseers. They're the only people that can be the emperor. This game is very much pointing at Arcanians are the minority ruling over the majority, and they're using the lots to have this sort of class warfare between the two classes that they have, and they probably use the clergy to exacerbate those problems. Father nods somberly. Yes, we can never be their equals. Do whatever an Arcanian tells you, and you never defy them ever. And what about grandfather and me? Where do we stand as nobles? That is easy. Father and grandfather are nobles of the mantle. This title cannot be inherited, but it can be earned by any commoner as a reward for good service to the empire in the legion or as a civil servant. Father suddenly grows quiet and looks you in the eye intently. Yes, and someday you will earn a noble title too, son. All in due time. Sons of the Nobility. Sir Tyrbor's school teaches children of all stripes. Nobles of the mantle and low-born parents can send their sons here, and every passing day the children of noblemen invent new ways to snub and bully the commoners. Most of the time, the bully leading them is Deirdre, the son of the secretary for the city hall and a self-important slob. The sons of noblemen never pick on you, however. They know that your father has been ennobled by the mantle. However, Deirdre and his retinue soon choose Tommas as their favorite victim. Time and time again, you ask your friend not to pay them any mind, but again and again, Tommas grows angrier and snaps at their self-satisfied mockery. It is early morning. The students are busy flocking to the classroom for the next lesson. You wave Tommas over when you see him. He waves back at you, and then a bucket full of slop splashes on him. Needless to say, it is the work of Deirdre and his entourage. You hear his familiar creaky laughter. The tailor's son stinks. How dare he sit next to decent folk? Tommas clenches his fists. You're dead, Deirdre. He throws himself at Deirdre's haughty entourage like a soldier ready to wage war. He attacks them first. This is just what they expected, and they are free to retaliate. He barely makes one movement before 4 pairs of hands grab him at once. Deirdre sneers and kicks your friend in the belly. Tommas gasps for air and starts coughing. You stand between them as Deirdre readies another kick. The nobleman's son cocks an eyebrow. Why do you mingle with the commoners? He asks. Your father is a nobleman of the mantle. You ought to be friends with your own kind, your equals, not the dirt beneath your feet. Behind him, 4 boys hold Tommas down as he struggles furiously. The other students are watching you, frozen in fear. Deirdre haughtily extends a hand to you. He clearly expects you to shake it. What will you do? I can challenge Deirdre to a fight. You challenge the nobleman's son to a single combat. My nobility goes up by 1. And my relationship with Tommas goes up by 1. I can turn him over to their teachers. You sick the school's authorities on Deirdre and his retinue. My ingenuity goes up by 1, and my relationship with Tommas goes 1. I can admonish the noble's son. The children of parents who have been ennobled by the mantle still bear the commoner's lot. My spirituality goes up by 1, and my relationship with Tommas goes up by 1. This is a difficult question, because I like to have roundabout stats. I'm going to turn him over to the teachers, increase my ingenuity by 1. You fold your arms across your chest and declare that Deirdre and his followers will pay dearly for their insolence. Their parents may be nobles, but they are not yet nobles themselves. Here at school, we are all equals. Deirdre's entourage is about to swarm you too, but the teacher of Imperial Law comes into the room just in time. Everybody immediately returns to their seats. Once the lesson is over, you tell the teacher how Deirdre and his friends have been starting fights and picking on people. They are the children of nobles, yet not nobles themselves, which means they are guilty of defying their lot and encouraging other students to do the same. The law teacher furrows his brow when he hears this. He assembles all the students and admonishes them. Any student caught in defiance of his lot will no longer be welcome at the school. The twins are always watching over us all, and the school will not suffer the presence of troublemakers who defy their will. The nobleman's sons reluctantly agree. There is no good reason to risk picking on lowborns when the punishment is so high. To say Deirdre is angry at you would be an understatement. But he can no longer hurt you or Tommas. The bullying stops. And my relationship goes up with Tommas. We are now sympathetic with each other. I'm now bright. I'm no longer, slow. I was slow, and now I'm bright.